Hi, how is everyone? I hope I didn't do this too early. I guess I'm 1 minute early. Have I ever done that before? Hello, I'm Mary Amy, and this is Living in the Light, and I'm all about shifting away darkness, guiding you to your truest potential, and cracking open that beautiful glowing light in your heart. Well, hello, here we are. Every single day, we're getting closer and closer to New Earth, the fifth dimension. Have you awakened? I'm sure you have, or you wouldn't be here with us. Here we are. Hello. So excited. Everyone's joining us. Well, today it is January 11th, and it's Wednesday in the Matrix work week, isn't it? How is that matrix doing? Well, that matrix is going down to a zero matrix effect. And what does that mean? That means there's not going to be any matrix left anymore. And that's one of our topics today. Well, did you tune into your heart today? Hey, Hamana, thanks for joining us. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm here and I'm going to stay here as long as I possibly can until the solar flash comes all the way in and all the technology is gone. And we're just operating mind to mind. And we're coming out of our homes and we're hugging one another and we're going to meet each other. We're all friends now, aren't we? We are all friends here. And thank you so much. Did you tune into your heart? Which means it's your personal experience that you're having right now. You know, I can't speak for you. I make suggestions. But when I say tune into your heart, I'd like you to get to know yourself a little bit better because you have all these wonderful and unbelievable characteristics and talents and abilities within you, and you're just finding them out. Because as you awaken, you are receiving light codes. While you're sleeping, you are receiving your DNA activations. Now, maybe you hear your ear ringing, either ear. I hear both, mostly in my right ear. And sometimes it proves to be validation. So if I'm speaking to someone or I'm learning something, or I'm actually laying in my bed before I go to sleep, I hear ear ringing, which means that I have activations of my light codes, which is what? We all have this original blueprint within us. And what's going on is it's coming online. All of us is coming online. We don't even know because we were crushed. We were crushed. So today we are talking about fool me once, fool me twice. What exactly does that mean? And I will share with you. And fighting human demons. Are you noticing some demons out there in the matrix, out in the physical reality? And we know we can't control anything out here. We can only control this. And our thoughts. Hey, Tommy, thanks for joining us. Oh, you have a boo-boo head. That means that you're not feeling so good. Maybe you had some stuff done today and you're not feeling so good. Well, I hope you feel better. I'm so glad you're here. And I get a thumbs up, I'm sure. Ta-da! And then zero matrix effect. Of course, I'll touch on angels and psychic phenomenon. Did you have any dreams last night? Did anyone have any dreams last night? You know, I had an assortment of dreams, and I can tell you that I remember glimpses of them. And, you know, every one of our dreams is significant to us. Maybe not to anyone else, but to us. It's a personal transmission of information that we're receiving from our unconscious. You know, it's something inside of us that's coming forward, that's showing us a little movie, a little picture. And we're supposed to pay attention. That's why I say get a dream journal. Now, it doesn't have to be a book. You know, it doesn't have to be an actual official dream journal. It can be a composition book or a piece of paper you put by your bed and you write it down. Because just like flashes of impressions that we receive during psychic phenomenon, when you're sleeping, you're receiving this information. When you wake up, at first you can remember it, but then a moment later goes by and you say, oh my gosh, I forgot my dream. Now, maybe sometime throughout the day, something might remind you of it. And that happened to me. Hey, Deanna, thanks for joining us. Deanna, you haven't been around for a while. Deanna 333. And you know, 333 is an angel number. Oh, I don't have my chart with me. I can't tell you what that means, but I bet Deanna knows what it means. Deanna, don't tell me. Let me guess. You're from Michigan. Hello. So Hamano's here, and he's coming from Transylvania in Europe. And Thomas is coming from the country, and Deanna is coming from Michigan. And I'm here in New York, joining you from New York. Anyway, I do remember a few things from my dream last night. I had a phone call with someone that is very important to me and said something very nice to me. And then I also remember a huge body of water. Now, body of water, I know, is symbolizes cleansing. It symbolizes emotions. And I shared with you that a few days ago, I just felt like crying, crying, crying. So I know there's a release going on for all of us because the light is coming on. We've been having these very powerful solar flares coming from the sun, and it's bringing light onto the earth. And all that darkness, like a flashlight, is getting revealed. So all that naughty stuff that's been going on, all that inhumane, you know, crimes against humanity, it's being found out. And there's going to be more and more disclosure. Like I said, disclosure, 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 disclosure. It's going to be really a whole lot of disclosure going on. And we're going to realize like we are not the only ones awakened. Now, maybe we are the first timeline arrivals. There's waves of volunteers coming in. We're the first ones. We're in the front of the line. And we're here to hold the hands of those that are just discovering that they've been living in a bunch of lies in a simulation. So let's get on to it. Fool me once, fool me twice. Now, we've all heard that phrase since we were children. You know, it's like, fool me once, it's my fault. Fool me twice, no, shame on me. I guess shame on me and then shame on you kind of thing. It's basically saying, this phrase is basically saying, like, you're not going to fool, if you fool me twice, shame on me, right? And what am I referring to? Well, I really couldn't put that as the title, could I? Because, you know, we have all those I guess you would say, all those controllers out there who are watching everything that we're doing. And, you know, I love to express myself and I kind of got to do it in a little bit of a hidden way. So it's shame on us after being tricked. Once, we should learn from one's mistakes and avoid being tricked again. Now, anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. The phrase came from 1650, Anthony Weldon. And believe it or not, he was a politician. And he had a witty way of saying, you know, fool me once, fool me twice is what he came up with. And go figure, it's ludicrous that a politician came up with this phrase because aren't they the ones who are always fooling us? And that's what I'm about to get into. Now, it's hysterical that it's a politician that came up with this phrase because they are doing it. Deception is costing lives. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, there are these gene altering meds. And there's experiments or tests that have been demonstrated on other humans. And that's going into when I'm referring to crimes against humanity. And so it's a procedure to discover an unknown effect. Now, has that been going on? Well, I question, you know, disclosure is coming out. We're finding out, you know, whether it be, you know, on the sidelines, the shadow government. We are receiving information little by little. Hey, Bob Harding, intelligence is knowing they lie to us. Wisdom is knowing we lie to ourselves. Well, good for you. Thanks for sharing that, Bob Harding. Bob Harding, let's remind me where you're coming from. Don't tell me. It's on my little cheat sheet. Iowa. Well, thanks for joining us from Iowa tonight. Bob Harding. Have you been fooled once and then fooled twice? I doubt it. I doubt you've been fooled at all because you seem to be way aware of everything that's going on. You know, you're also a truth seeker like I am, and you've traveled down the rabbit hole and you've dug deep. You've gone down there. And, you know, as soon as you find one little crack in, I guess, crack in the wall, crack in the matrix, you started to question. And I realized that from an early age, I was questioning everything. I don't know if you were. I liked a mystery. I liked to uncover. And I never took anything at face value because I learned at an early age that there is some evil out there. And we're going to get into the fighting the human demons, because there are some human demons that we are encountering on a daily basis. And it's going to come forward more and more. We're going to get into the positive stuff in a bit, but let's kind of uncover some of this dark stuff first. So there are experiments and tests being committed on humans. And yes, they're trying to discover unknown effects. So far, it looks as though there's three kinds of variables. There's the independent, which stands alone, not changed by other variables. There's the dependent. Is the effect. The controlled, held constant, or limited research study. Now, what am I referring to? I don't know if any of you know what I'm referring to. And its value depends on changes in the independent variable. So is there something called gene therapy, which is, affecting us, affecting our genetic code? Has that been going on in the last 2 years? Has something been put into our systems, whether we wanted to or not? Were we forced to have this put into our system? Now, I read, according to one of these pharma companies, a new generation of medicine where a functioning gene is delivered to a targeted tissue in the body to produce a missing protein. And from another source I read, it's changing the genome. It's altering the genetic code. Now, whether or not you realize it or not, when you take some medication, it's altering your genetic code. And was that done on purpose? Well, I just listed these three kinds of variables that happen during an experiment. Were some of these saline? Were some of these lethal? And were some of these there to do some changing of the genetic code? Genome editing is a process where an organism's genetic code is changed. And that's my worry. These are crimes against humanity, a process where an organism's genetic code is changed. Now, have those out there been fooled once, fooled twice, fooled 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and then suddenly died? Or they find out they're 4-stage cancer. Let's be aware of this. Let's say, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up to those out there who are not realizing that they've been altering their genetic code. Now, each time that they do this, they get fooled. Are they then altering it more? Is it too much for their system? I mean, let's all stay organic and natural. We don't want to be man-made. I don't want a chip in my head or in my arm. I want to be natural and organic. We are all beautiful beings of light. We're sacred beings of light. Do you know how worthy you are? Do you know how wonderful you are? You're a light being. You should protect everything within this vessel. You are a wonderful being of light. And so, genome editing is a process where an organism's genetic code is changed, and they use enzymes that act on DNA called nucleases, and it binds to the DNA and inserts and deletes, and a new DNA sequence is formed. So a new DNA sequence is formed with gene therapy. Our DNA is perfect as is. It's wonderful. It's highly advanced. Let's stay within the same DNA. Let's not shift it up. So fool me once, fool me twice. No more. We're not going to be fooled anymore. Anyone out there, don't be fooled. Awaken. We're here together. We have oneness. We are bringing light upon the whole earth. Let's all come together. Let's have collective consciousness. Okay? And so there I go. That's my first topic there. Anyone joining us, please write in the chat and tell me what you're thinking and feeling. And if you want to, I'm just making a suggestion. Now, all the topics I'm bringing up, I feel are relevant and important because I'm here. I'm a healer, and I want good things for you. And is everything I say completely 100% accurate? Heck no. But I'm putting out information, and let's go down that rabbit hole together and discover and make sure that we are in a safe place. And maybe let's remind ourselves of those mantras that we have. I am powerful, I am strong, I am brave, I'm courageous, I am safe. We're not looking to have fear because fear is low vibrational. Fear is the worst thing. It stops us in our tracks. It takes us off our path. Let's leave fear behind. Let's cut off that belief system. We're not going to live crisis to crisis. We're all about love and light and forgiveness and compassion. And when I said to you, I spoke about some ways to activate your third eye and to tune into your heart and your clear senses. I always say forgiveness has the greatest impact on you, because when you forgive, you're basically making everything a whole again. You know, pieces of us all come off during our lifetime. And we have to have soul retrieval. We have to bring it back. And I'm not saying you might not have gone through something really traumatic and really upsetting, and you feel sad and hurt and lonely and confused. No one can fix that but you. Most of the time, those that have hurt us don't really care. They don't really care. So we have to do all of it on our own. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to protect ourselves. Like I said, when you go out into a situation, you feel as though you're getting like some stinging in your heart or maybe pain in your head, I always say cover your heart. Take your arm and put it over your heart. And then maybe get away from that situation if it's really bothering you. You want to put your elbow over your heart, or you want to imagine a band of light surrounding you, a white light band. And when I say white light, I'm speaking of when you look up at the sun and you see that white light coming down. That's the kind of color you want to imagine that surrounding you. Just imagine light surrounding you all around your being, and that will protect you. And after a while, if you do that enough, it's just going to automatically protect you. Or you go into a situation and you say to yourself, white light, and it circles you. And I know this because I'm an empath and I absorb others' emotions and moods and feelings and their darkness. I must do that. So that's a suggestion for you. Have you seen out in the Matrix some of these? They look human. They speak like they're human, but they're not acting like they're human. They're acting like they're demons. Have you noticed that some of those out there are acting crazy? And I don't even know what to say. Violent, angry, rage is coming out of them. Have you noticed that? Those are fighting human demons. So there are these demons out there. Now, we don't know. I'm not quite sure if they shape-shifted and they're actual demons or they are humans that are possessed by demons. And in the coming weeks and months, right now in this time, what's going on is because of all the light that's coming onto the earth, there's so much light that's coming onto the earth, you're going to feel as though you're kind of transmuting. You're taking on another form. You're going to start to have different symptoms, and they might get a little intense. You know, I've had some of them myself, and you might wake up or not be able to go to sleep because so much light is coming onto the earth and so much is changing environmentally. The earth has decided that it's going to rid itself of anything that's not healing and loving and kind. And so there's going to be a fight to the finish, and you're going to see demons. There are going to be demons, and they look human, but I don't know if they are human. They are those out there that you can just tell because they have so much hatred in their heart. And demons are known to get their power, and I'm going to give you some ideas about how to, just keep yourself far away from these. Now, maybe you're going to encounter this from those out there that are spewing. And it might get more and more intense, because they don't belong here anymore. These beings, whether or not they're actual beings or they're entities or they're possessed humans, I don't know, but I'm just going to give you a heads up on it. It's going to be occurring more and more, because everything's going to get more and more intense, because the light that's coming on the earth for the last 3 days has already begun to shift the earth and shift us. And so if you've noticed, not only are you noticing a big divide, you're going to see a difference between us, the awakened, and those that are just grappling on to the matrix. They're trying to hold on as it's crumbling, as it's just, as I said, zero matrix effect. So let's be aware that demons get their power from negative energy, which means that if you sit around and someone comes up to you and they come up to you and they're nasty, or they're hateful, or they're full of fear, or they're toxic and they're talking a lot about other people, or they're just really over the top screaming and yelling and angry. If you feed them with more negative stuff, that's going to bring more power into them. What you want to do is you want to control your own thoughts. Stay away from anything negative, any negative thoughts and emotions. And we want to get rid of that within ourselves. Maybe turn around and walk away, or not have a conversation. You might want to start thinking positive. If you start to encounter that going on, now sometimes it's very exciting to be around drama. You say, oh, wow, what's going on here? Huh. It's like watching a car crash. You just want to stand there and stare. Pay attention, because you don't want it to seep onto you. So think positively. And that means thoughts, words, and actions. So you might start just saying it in your mind, like nature or light or love, or you want to meditate. And, demons out there that have become human, or they're like taking on the form of human, or maybe vice versa, they're transforming physically, and they've done what's called demonic manipulation, and they are sprouting up in humans lately, and you can see it. They're angry, they're possessed, they're hateful, they're screaming, and they're what's called shapeshifters. So our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the powers, against the world forces of this darkness, against the spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly places. And we are going to encounter the last bits of demonic possession. And it's coming out because it has no place to go anymore. It's been uncovered. And we've spoken about how there's this shift going on. There's this shift going on across the globe. And we too are shifting. We are becoming more of ourselves, and the earth is becoming pure again. And everything ugly and awful is leaving. It's not going to be a world of competition, I'm tangling my words, consumerism, or they say democracy. I don't know if it's really been a democracy with the selected leaders. But the world is going to take on the effects of nature. And for example, like if you could look at, here's the 4 elements of nature, fire, water, earth, and air. And it's going to take on more of that and less of the non-organic, less of the man-made, less of the artificial. We're going to begin to see more of this. And human demons cannot exist here. They cannot exist where the light is and where all the heavenly and the divine is. It cannot exist here. It can only exist in the very dense 3-dimensional world. And since the 3-dimensional world is leaving us, the simulation, okay, the demonic forces can no longer stay. So now human demons here's an example, and I'm going to say this quickly because I don't want to say it very, very long. Human demons want to kill babies and inject meds with fetal aborted babies. And so ways to get rid of demonic humans would be to get some sage. Now you can go get some sage I got this at Whole Foods. You can get it in some of these health food stores, or a store that sells minerals and rocks and crystals. So what you want to do is you want to burn some sage to clear away confused energy and demons. So you want to move through the whole house. When you light it, it's going to let off like some smoke on the end, and you want to go all through the doorways and the crevices and the window sills, and go through all the rooms of the world, all the rooms in the room, all of the rooms in the house is what I meant to say. Anyway, so that's sage. I don't know if you've ever seen a bundle of sage. Okay, that's something I suggest. Now you can say a prayer to get rid of them. You can say it out loud. You can drive them away. And then you can be in positive energy, recite positive energetic words or your own mantra, maybe something like positive about the world or yourself, and have a positive intention. Like I will, I don't know, do good deeds. I will be kind. I will be compassionate, and then banish any demons. 3, you can take, this is what they say, you can take pots and pans and bang them together around your home and all the corners and the windows. And I know this sounds like a little bit of hocus pocus and shenanigans, but however, this is what they say to do if you want to get rid of demons. Now, I know out in the matrix, out in the physical reality, we see these videos of these, those out there screaming and yelling, and they're very angry and they're doing harmful things to others. I suggest some of these actions to kind of, I guess, influence outcomes. So like I said, bang pots and pans. So number 1 was burn sage around your home. 2, say a prayer to get rid of them, or a mantra, recite a positive energy mantra with a positive intention, and say banish any demons. 3, bang pots and pans, because that is sound healing. That's startling everything. 4, go and get some holy water and sprinkle it around. 5, you want to avoid any negative films or music that can attract anything negative. And 6, get some crystals. Here, like for example, I have all these crystals right here. Here's some crystals. Any kind of crystals that you want. Here's some examples of some crystals. And get some crystals and then put them under a full moon to recharge them. And then put them around your house. I have crystals all around my house. And then 7, sprinkle salt in corners and doorways. Now, I know this sounds like, oh, come on, Mary, seriously? But, if you encounter one of these evil beings, or you have a dream about one, or in real life you encounter one, or you see someone and you say, wait a second, what did they just look like? For a minute, they look like a flash of something demonic. And I have to tell you, I've known 2 people, 3 people, myself, that I've experienced that you're looking at someone and all of a sudden you see another face on their face because they're a shapeshifter. I'm just telling you, it's going to be a crazy world out there in the next few weeks. Just be aware. I told you here, right here at Living in the Light. I'm trying to be honest here about what's possible. So fool me once, fool me twice is all about not being tricked into doing something and having discernment and making sure that if someone comes to you and you have an uh-oh feeling about something, don't do it. Say, I need more information. I'm not interested anymore. Now before we move on to Zero Matrix Effect, I'm going to remind you about angels. Now, these are the 9 ranks of angels. This is a famous painting, Hierarchy of Angels. And I like to share different photos or paintings of angels because I'm very influenced by angels, and I sense their presence is positive and healthy for me. And that's my own personal story. However, I'm just sharing with you that it's been helpful to me. I've spoken about Archangel Michael. I've spoken about angel numbers. There's signs and symbols. Maybe you'll have a vision of an angel. Maybe they'll come to you while you're having your dreams at night. And so these are the 9 ranks of angels, the hierarchy of angels: seraphim, cherubim, thrones, dominions, principalities, powers, virtues, archangels, and guardian angels. So here's guardian angels, here's archangels. Do you see that? It's like a warrior. An archangel is a warrior. An archangel is also a messenger and a protector of humanity. Now, there's some famous archangels you've probably heard of: Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel. What was the other one? I just had it in my mind and it just vanished. And angels are celestial and benevolent, and they ascend and descend on a staircase from heaven. And they're here. They basically help us with divine intervention. They're swaying us away from harm and danger. And whether you realize it or not, you have 2 guardian angels that are with you from the time that you're born, when you're just a baby. And angels, if you've had a near-death experience, maybe they greet you on the other side. I did myself, and I saw light. And I have this very special connection. Now, as you are awakening, and you're having all of these light codes come into your system, and you're having these ascension symptoms, you're going to experience light coming into you. And you might close your eyes at night and you might see light. You open your eyes and it's dark. And then you close your eyes and there's light, because light is coming into your system and you are evolving into the most unique, beautiful being, a being of light. And I believe when we all reach the light, that we will be greeted by angels like I did when I was about to cross over. And we might be meeting up with spirits and ascended masters and angelic beings. And you know what? I believe that if we're open to, I guess, everything, and we think anything is possible, it can happen. So just be aware. Now, everything I say is my idea. It's my opinion. I'm sharing with you and expressing what I believe. You don't have to believe what I'm saying. It's just where I'm coming from. I believe I'm here. Now, whether or not, maybe I'm here for you for one reason, like, oh, she's talking about some healing information. Oh, maybe it's about the topics. Maybe I'm just here helping you be optimistic and knowing that there's another possibility, because we can feel really beat up. I shared with you yesterday, I came home and I was exhausted, and I took a hot shower, and I needed to eat so much food because I was so tired. And why am I tired? Because I'm just emotionally exhausted from this matrix that we've been living in, and all of this hoopla and BS, basically. And I'm ready for a new reality. I'm ready for this new Earth Gaia. I'm ready for peace on Earth. And I'm just sick of, I just want everyone to get along. I just want everyone to be nice to each other. And so I get tired too. And I get a little like burnt out. And I'm here because I'm your friend and I want good things for you. So let's get on to zero matrix effect. And that's good news. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're interested. Now, I'm here every night. Well, not every night, Monday through Thursday at 7 o'clock or around that time. And I have some interviews upcoming, which I'm excited. I'm going to mention before I get into zero matrix effect. I was invited. It was so funny. Within 24 hours, I got invited to be interviewed. So I'm going to be on someone else's YouTube channel, and she is a channeler, and she channels other realms, and she's interested in interviewing me. So that should be very interesting. And then I was also invited to be on a ufologist podcast. A ufologist is someone who studies UFOs. And so he's invited me to be on his podcast. So I'm excited about that. And I'll give you those dates as soon as I know them. Those are within the next month. So that should be fun. It's always good to just kind of go off in a little bit of another direction for a bit and get that experience. If an opportunity comes to you, I've wanted this, and I hope more of this will happen to me. And I'm suggesting, if someone comes to an opportunity and you at first are like, oh, I'm a little nervous, I'm a little scared, just don't answer right away. Just give yourself a moment and consider it might be good for you. Because most of the time, information that comes to us, if it's good and it's positive, is for us. Now, some of the negative might be for us, but maybe it's a test to see if you're going to fall into the same old trap that you have in the past. Did you learn the lesson? And that's what issues are about. Issues are all about learning a lesson. Okay, so zero matrix effect. What does that mean? Do you have any idea? Well, this came into my mind and I said, you know what? Guess what's happening right now? You know how they say the butterfly effect, the flapping of the wings of the butterfly, and then there was the Mandela effect? Well, I'm coming up with the title, the zero matrix effect. And what does that mean? Zero matrix left. Zero. There's not having no quantity. There's going to be zero matrix left. That's where we're headed. And that is why we are going to be fighting some human demons for a little bit, because they're angry. They're pissed off. They are so mad that their civilization is done. It's smashed. It's done. All those buildings, those high-rise buildings, they're going to be empty. And guess what's going to be taking over? You know those movies that you see where there's a end of the world, and they go out into the streets, and it's a big city, but what is growing? All this foliage is growing, and there's trees growing in the middle of the streets, and there's wild animals. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be like that. And we're going to go back to all nature. Everything's going to be about nature. So the zero matrix effect, I'm so excited about saying that. It gets me excited. It's where the matrix doesn't exist anymore. And what is the matrix? Well, it's going to be the absence of the civilization. It is all in our heads. It's all in our heads. We are continuing the matrix based on our head and what's going on in our heads, our belief system. Okay? So it's through our thoughts. It's how we create our reality. So the longer we hang on to the matrix, the longer it's going to exist, because it's done for. It's done because so much light has come onto the earth. It can't last. So we can let it go now. We can let the matrix go. The matrix has combusted. You know when they say something goes up in flames? It's gone up in flames. It's gone up in flames. The matrix is, pop, poof, it's gone like that. It's burst into flames, which is suitable for the evil that's taken up residence. The controlled environment in which people act and behave in a certain way to conform to roles predetermined by powerful people who decide how the world is supposed to function. That's what's done for. We can now create the reality we want ourselves with our minds. Now, the messages that I've been receiving in the last day, it's happened in the last day, is that as this matrix is just, like I said, the zero matrix effect, how it's just going to basically just disappear. This civilization is exterminated. Like this, we are changing, and like this, a new reality is coming into play, like so fast, I can't even tell you. And we don't even realize how much we can do in such a short span of time. Because when all of us that are left awaken, all of us that are the meek will inherit the earth. All of us, the good-willed, those that have integrity and compassion and love. And you know what? Anyone can change. Anyone can ask for forgiveness. It's all up to them. It's not a club. We're not in a club. We welcome everyone if they can figure it out, if they can awaken and figure it out. That's entirely up to them. That's their spirit. That's their heart. That's their soul. Can they let go of this old belief system and all these old thoughts? I don't know. I pray for them. I pray for them. And I'm welcoming them open arms. It's entirely up to them. And all of us, with all of our unity we have and all of our oneness, it's going to happen really quickly. Our bodies are going to change, our minds are going to expand, our awareness is going to expand, and we are going to connect on other levels. Now, I don't know if I have anything I can share with you picture-wise, but how I can describe it is if you can imagine all of the frequencies. You know, it's like when you go out, you know those days that it's really, really sunny and you stand in nature and you see all of it's almost like the energy coming off of nature and how powerful it is. That's what it's going to be like. And we're going to all be connecting. And we're going to be connecting on a cosmic level, cosmic energy. The earth, the sun, the moon, and the stars are all connecting. And as us humans and all living things, we're all connecting. So it's like we're all finding our way. We are all realizing what we were meant to do. And as a result of all the pressures, the life, the lawlessness, and the divine cosmic energy is going to be kind of off the grid. You know, when you were a kid or you see a movie and they say they're off the grid, we're all going to be off the grid because we're not going to be using technology anymore. We're not going to be, I don't think our cars are going to be powered by fossil fuels, and we're not going to need gas and oil. And, you know, I brought up the elements. There's a fifth element. There's what's called ether. Now, ether resides beyond the clouds. And they say ether. Hey, T, thanks for joining us from Detroit. Thank you. I hope you liked the video and subscribe. We're covering tonight, Fool Me Once, Fool Me Twice, Fighting Human Demons, and Zero Matrix Effect. Now, you know, we don't just have these four elements. We have ether as well, and they've kind of hid that from us so that we weren't aware of the power of ether. But they say that's how Tesla spoke about free energy. You utilize ether, and they say that's where a lot of energy lies, in ether above the clouds. We don't really know what resides beyond the clouds, do we? We don't really know what's going up in the sky. You know, they say we landed on the moon. Do we really land on the moon? Do we really? And then they had like a bat phone that they spoke on. We know that Stanley Kubrick, is that was his name? He made up those fake moon landings. And so we don't really know what's going on. And then we have this whole discussion about, is the earth round? Is it flat? Is there inner earth? Is there hollow earth? We don't know yet, do we? And Antarctica, what's going on in Antarctica? I'm just throwing a lot out there, right? Why not? Just get there. So we're going to be off the grid. We are going to be living in a new civilization. So the evil deeds, so as a consequence of all the evil deeds on earth, the sun, the moon, the earth, the stars, and all its inhabitants have devised a new earth. And so number one, before we get into psychic phenomenon, I'm just going to say, number one, this is who's in charge moving forward. Not those powers with all that money and currency. Heck no. They're not in charge anymore. They're not in charge anymore. Because we are awakened and we realize that, you know, money, the IRS, that's all made up by someone who's reaping benefits. And where's all our tax money going? I got my paycheck from the Matrix today. And I said, where did it all go? And then someone said, taxes, Mary. I said, what do you mean it went to taxes? All of that went to taxes? Yep, went to taxes. Well, where'd the tax money go? We don't know. It went over there, it went over there, went in someone's pocket. They said, come on, put that tax money right here. I'm taking it right here. Oh, look, hi, Angie. I have the newspapers from the moon landing, and they are interesting. I found them in an attic of a home we loved. Oh, you have to show me those one day. Hey, Angie Tillman, I love hearing from you. We spoke earlier. Angie, we're going to meet in person. I have all my friends that I'm meeting online. I'm meeting in social media and here on YouTube, and we're all going to meet in person. We're all going to have a big party. Maybe everyone will meet in New York City or one of the fun cities before the Matrix. So number one, who's in charge moving forward? Nature, organic beings, animals, humans, and the elements. The elements of nature. 2, technology is done. The artificial, man-made is no longer going to be available. 3, what's going to take over? Love, compassion, forgiveness, peace, friendships reign. Now, what's going away forever? Hate, anger, no longer. Fear. It's not going to be accepted on earth. So just be aware, this is what's coming. Like I said, zero matrix effect. The matrix is gone. It's over. Done for. I can't wait. Now, like I said, I'm going to miss those chai tea lattes. I had one today. I like a hot chai tea latte. I'm going to enjoy them because I know there's not going to be barista as soon as all the light comes onto the earth. Do you think those gals and guys are going to want to go down there and make us coffee? Nope. So we're going to have to learn how to do all of that ourselves. We're going to be learning how to do a lot of things ourselves. And maybe more and more of us are going to realize how wonderful we are. And we're going to not need our phones and technology. And we're going to say we can communicate just here in person. We can visit each other and have love for one another. And we can have fun. We're not going to go to a 9-to-5 job anymore. If you had a choice, would you go to a 9-to-5 job anymore? I don't think so. Would you only take, one vacation a year? Heck no. You'd be like, where am I going to go? Where should I go? Where should I travel to? And guess what? You wouldn't be in trouble. You wouldn't be criticized. You'd be loved all the time because you're a worthy being of light. All right. So anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Mary Amy, coming live from New York. I'm just 45 minutes outside of New York City, which is one of those famous matrix societies. Okay, so our psychic phenomenon. Have you been practicing? We are here to practice our telepathy, extrasensory perception. And why is that? Because we were supposed to be doing it all along. And the more and more that the light comes onto the earth, the more and more this is valuable to you. Why is that? Because it's going to help guide you. Your intuition, we speak of our intuition. And our intuition is a knowing that we have within us. And there's no credible information that's given to you. You just have the answers within you. And the more that you open up yourself and you accept it, and you say, you know what? Anything's possible. And maybe you want to practice with us every night, or not every night, Monday through Thursday. Towards the end of the show, after the first hour, I always get into it, maybe a few minutes before. We're 10 minutes early. However, we do 2 exercises of practice. So what are we practicing exactly? We're practicing our clair senses, because you can master at least 1, probably 3. But let's start with 1. And what is that going to be? Whatever naturally you receive information. Now, maybe you're someone that has been really tuned into your feelings and emotions. Maybe you're a writer, maybe you're a performer, or maybe you're just all about that. Maybe you're empathic, and this might be a little easier for you. Or you might be someone who says, oh, I'm the devil's advocate. It's black and white. I'm practical. guess what? It's going to be a little bit more difficult for you because you've pushed away tuning into your senses. And that's what this is about. It's a knowing that you have within you that you're receiving information from another source. Maybe you're receiving it through your hearing, your smelling, your taste, your psychic clairvoyance, your feeling, your claircognizance. You can connect to another realm. Maybe you can see, you're able to remote view, which is you can close your eyes or you can see in your third eye, you can see another location. Now, this isn't made up by me. People have been doing this for decades. Our government had programs that they did ESP, and they studied it, and they found ways to control people's minds. And they used it in a negative way. It was mind control. We're not using it in a negative way. We're using it to help ourselves and to communicate and actually coming online with all of our senses. So let's practice right now. We're going to tune in. We're going to tune in, and we're going to have a willingness to accept our emotions and our feelings. And we are going to have self-confidence. We're going to believe we can do it, and we're going to surrender to it and have no doubt. Have no doubt you can do it. I know you can. Now, everything that I share with you is my personal experience. Are you going to have separate personal experiences? Yes, because everyone receives clairvoyance and all these clairsenses a different way. So your way of receiving the information, if you're reading someone, might be different than mine. When I read someone, when I say I read someone, I'm tuning into them. Now, am I tuning in by what I see with my eyeballs? No. Am I tuning in by what my thoughts say? No. I'm tuning in through my senses. So I tune in. I don't even have to look at the person. I hear their voice or I sense their energy, and then I receive impressions. So the impressions are going to be something like sounds, might be a voice, might be a word. Maybe it's a puppy dog barking. Maybe it's a cow mooing. Maybe it's a visual of a bird. When you first start doing this, you might only receive like one little impression here and there. However, that's wonderful. Accept it, because the more you accept it, the more you're going to receive. It might come through as a mental picture, might come through as a story. There's many possibilities. You might all of a sudden see yourself in another realm, maybe an angel, maybe an extraterrestrial, maybe a spirit. There's many possibilities. So if you receive something and say, oh, no, I don't want to hear it, you're stopping it. You're stopping it. Don't stop it. Allow it. Because I'm sharing with you that after you get over the hurdle of how uncomfortable it feels at first and how weird it is, you're like, maybe I'm a little crazy. Maybe I'm a little kooky. You can't put that doubt in your mind. Now, there's not going to be any proof unless you're reading someone like I used to. I'd hold hands and I'd sit there and I'd say, you are magnificent at this, that, or the other, and your mother and you did this together, whatever it may be. Unless you have someone right in front of you, you're not going to get proof right away. You have to trust that you're receiving authentic information. Don't overthink it. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to relax like we normally do, right? Because we've almost hit that 1 hour mark. Okay. Also you might receive memories from your history or someone else's. And it might not make sense. It might not make sense at first because you don't know. Like if you're around someone and something smells, you have a sense of smell, but it's not really in the physical reality. You might be catching a memory of theirs or something that happened to them, or taste. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so let's relax. Like we always say, maybe move your head around. I don't know if you're laying down or you're sitting up like I am. Try to keep your body parts uncrossed. I tend to cross my legs. I have to remind myself to uncross my legs because we want to just have everything flowing. We spoke about our chakras, our 7 chakras on the inside and 5 on the outside. So let's relax so everything is flowing properly. And we're just letting go, and we're letting go of any tension. Now, maybe you have to let out a breath. Let out a breath. Maybe you have to speak it out, just so you let go of anything before this moment. Any thoughts, push them away. And let's do 3 like inhales and exhales, just really. So we just kind of let go, because we have a lot of tension in our body throughout the day. If you're working in the matrix, you might be carrying a lot of tension. So we want to let go of any tension, any thoughts. And then we're going to drop down into our physical body and surrender to our senses, our sense of hearing, our clairvoyance, our third eye, our mind's eye, our smell, our taste. Remind ourselves, what are you feeling? Sense of touch? Do you sense anything? Any vibrations? Whatever it may be. And then your claircognizance, right? Our claircognizance is the psychic ability of knowing about certain situations, people, or places from the past, present, or future. And so that's information that just might come to you. Now, we don't necessarily have to define exactly where it's coming from, but when I say I'm giving a suggestion, tune in, it's because it's kind of giving more focus to that particular sense. As we move on, you become more and more advanced. You might not have to just say, my hearing, my touch, my feeling. It might just come through to you. But we're just, we're taking baby steps. Right? So we've dropped down, we push away any thoughts, we're focused, we're having concentration, and we feel as though we've made physical contact. Now I'm going to give a suggestion, and let's see if you receive any impression, any thought transference, any mind to mind. So let's tune in. We're going to tune in to one of our clear senses. And like I've been doing, which is working for me, I'm tuning into my clairaudience. And I'll say my clair feeling, my clair sustenance, my feeling, my heart. And I choose to close my eyes. You can keep your eyes open. And so let's tune into, we're going to tune into, and we're going to send a message. This is something new, to someone close to us. And let's see if we can let's do what's called remote viewing. So we're going to choose someone that we're close to. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make it a little more difficult. Let's just see if we can tune in and see if we receive any impressions from someone. You can pick anyone you like in your life or someone you know. And let's see if you can tune into that person. You can see where they are. So it's remote viewing. And you send them a message. So that's 3 things. You're tuning into someone that you know, anyone you choose. Are you receiving any remote viewing where they are? And then you're going to send them a message. So let's try this. So you pick one of your clear senses, whatever you like. I'm closing my eyes and I'm trying this. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to choose someone and I'm going to see if I can receive any impressions of where they are, and I'm sending them a message. Okay, so what I received is, it's interesting. I realized doing this, it's I think it's vital that we kind of know the vicinity of the person when we remote view. So I tuned in, and then I went to the vicinity of where I know this person would be. And then I what I did was, I did what I normally do, is I to see, to kind of receive information, I look down. It's almost like I'm looking down at the ground. And then I usually, the information then comes up in my view. So it kind of spreads open. And then I saw exactly what was going on with the person. And then I sent them a message. Now, when I speak to this person or hear from this person again, I'll be curious. I'm going to remind myself what happened here, see if it actually was translated, if they received their, I'm the sender and they're the receiver. And so I visualized them and I sent them the information. I don't know if you received any impressions, or this, if you felt as though this was a flowing activity for you, a flowing exercise, if you believe that you sent the message. Now, this is practice. We're doing practice here because we're learning about our clairsenses, and this is practicing. Now, everything we do, every thought that we transfer to someone has a charged impulse. Is it possible they receive it? Absolutely. And you know how I know that? It's like when you think of someone and you're clear, all of a sudden they contact you. Like, for example, I was thinking of Angie this morning. And she then contacted me, and then she came here tonight. So that actually worked. We found each other today, and I needed to kind of, I guess, I needed to hear from her, and I did. All right, so let's try another exercise before we go. And we now hit the 1 hour mark. Okay, so let's try again. Let's close our eyes. We're doing a clairsense. We're doing some psychic phenomenon. Let's close our eyes. And we are going to relax, and we are going to let go of any tension in our bodies, right? Like we're a rag doll. I always say a rag doll. I guess I try to have some kind of way of you understanding what I'm saying, but you know now what I mean. Maybe just move your head around a little bit, because we want to let go of tension. We want to let go of a breath. Now, right now, we're going to really focus on having some stillness, because the more that we have some deep breathing and more stillness, the more possibility we'll feel relaxed enough to receive information. It's like when you do a meditation, you can activate so much within you, and some memories that you had can come forward. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about. We're going to move on to our memories. So let's relax. Let's let go of any tension. Let's let out a breath. Let's just have some peace within us for 1 second. Imagine peace. Imagine that you're just ready to go lay down and take a little nap. That's how peaceful you're going to feel. And any thoughts that you had, you're pushing them back up, and you're letting go of anything before this moment, because we're really focusing on our clairsenses. Now I'd like you to imagine that you're dropping down into your physical vessel. You're making contact. You're dropping down into your senses, your hearing, your taste, your smell, your clairvoyance, your third eye, your heart, your feeling, your touch, your claircognizance, all of your knowing. So you're dropping down, you're making physical contact, you're surrendering. You're saying, hey, I'm willing to do this. I have a willingness. I'm going to believe I can do this. And now I'd like for you to choose one of your clairsenses, if 1 to 2, whatever you choose. Maybe it's your clairvoyance and you have your eyes open or closed. Maybe it's your heart. Maybe it's your hearing. I'd like you to choose one of them, and I'm giving you a suggestion. So you're really concentrating, you're really tuning in and focusing. And I'm going to make the suggestion that we're going to do what's called memory retrieval. We're going to have a memory we're going to retrieve. Let's see if you can receive any impressions. I'd like you to go back in your memory. This is the suggestion of as a child. And I'd like you to go back to your memory. And the suggestion is the first time that you felt happiness, excitement and happiness within you. If you can go back, that's a suggestion. Let's see what impressions you receive. Maybe you'll receive details. Maybe you'll hear something. So that's the suggestion. You're going back into your memory. And it's the first time that you had happiness within you. And I'm going to be quiet and let's see what you receive. Okay, so it's very interesting. And I did find a memory that I didn't even know I had. And so I'll share with you, this is my personal experience story that I had about me. And then, if you want to share what happened to you. So I said this suggestion in my mind, I said this suggestion, I put it forward and I said, what am I hearing? And I said, the first memory that I have of having happiness. And then all of a sudden I saw this doll. Now, it wasn't a doll you buy in the store. It was actually a handmade doll. And the doll was actually, I think it was made from socks and buttons. And the doll had a blue face. And I think it was all sewn together, but very well done. So I don't know if it was actually, whoever gave it to me, I can't really decipher. But I was given it at a party. It was an adult party. I was sitting on outside sofa. Um, I must have been, I was pretty young, maybe 1 years old or a little bit older, because I know I didn't really have long hair. I was like a baby. And this doll had button eyes. And I remember yarn for the hair, and it had a dress on it. And then I remember being passed around to different relatives, and I can't distinguish. I was sitting on people's laps. But my point is, it was like the first time I think I was really happy that I got this handmade doll. So that's what happened for me. And I didn't even have this memory before. So it's interesting. One of the reasons why I suggest doing this is whenever we go to different emotions, positive emotions, we're actually bringing more light into our inner being, and it's actually growing within us, and it will create mystical experiences within you, and it will also help bring light into ourselves now in this moment. Because like I said, as we've kind of lived in this matrix, this illusion, this very dark civilization, we've kind of been crushed. And so now we're kind of bringing out more of our light that was there. See, this memory inside of me was there. It was stored somewhere. And now I've brought it forward. So I don't know if that happened for you, but if it didn't happen in this moment, maybe try it later on, and I'm just giving suggestions because I'm hoping that this will be healing for you and will repair some of the damage that's been done to us. Okay, everyone. Well, it was wonderful being here. And I'll be back again tomorrow night at 7. And I hope, no, actually, I take it back. It's going to be earlier. So Mary, Falcon Memories. I will be here earlier than 7 tomorrow evening because I have plans tomorrow night. So I don't know. It might be relatively early at like 6 o'clock or 5:30, but I'll be here tomorrow night. And if you miss it live, you can always watch it. My videos are all posted on YouTube. And so you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And just let me know that you're live here with us, and we will follow each other. Everyone be well. I'm spinning light, and you're in the center of it right here. I want good things for you. And I'm spinning light. You can spin light around yourself. You can visualize light circling you. White light, and it will break up any negativity or darkness within you. So I'm circling light. Thanks for everyone who's joined us tonight. Deanna, Hamano, Bob Harding, Angie, and everyone else. Even if you're not writing in the chat, you're recognized, and I'm sending you love and light. And here I'm sending it back clockwise, counterclockwise. And you're in the center, and everyone have a wonderful evening. I'm sending light to you. Again, tonight was Fool Me Once, Fool Me Twice, and Fighting Human Demons, Zero Matrix Effect, and we did the 2 psychic phenomenon, and always I'm mentioning angels. So everyone be well, have a wonderful night, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye. I'm just going to say bye to everyone. Bye. Thank you. Bye, everyone. I hope you liked the video.